that was a worthwhile afternoon. So I'm going to share with you some really interesting, I think they're interesting, I hope you think they're interesting things about the brain and a little bit about my personal journey. I have the power to choose to absorb what's going on in my peanut gallery. I do not have to listen to everything my brain has to say. And there's a tiny little group of cells in there that is not happy with me or happy with you, and it's going to be very loud because it has the art of language. And it has the art of language to complain. So I encourage you to complain, allow your brain to complain, and say, okay, between 9 and 9:15 every morning, that's my whine time. And all my friends know whether or not they want to pick up the phone or not. You know, I mean, it's putting your brain on a timer. Tend the garden of your mind. Pay attention to what's going on inside. You can take total responsibility for everything going on inside of your brain, because responsibility is the ability to choose how to respond. We have the power to choose, moment by moment, how we want to respond. It is circuitry. Every ability we have because we have cells that perform that function. And I am the big mama that says to my own cells, wow, I have the life horsepower of 50 trillion molecular geniuses, and I am so grateful that I'm alive. And from that comes everything else. So it all boils down to one thing. I had the ability to choose to recover. I had the ability to choose who and how I want to be. And that's what I'm doing with my power. That's what I'm doing with my power. What are you doing with yours? And as we grow older, bigger circuitry makes the world a bigger place. And as we age, the circuitry just gets piled on top. But that's why when you go into hypnotherapy or something like that, you can dig that out. It's in there somewhere. It's in there. We just don't know what to do with it. For me, I was very right-brained, into a lot of art and a lot of music, and a lot of athletics before my show. So I had a very strong right brain. And then I developed my left brain. And I became scholastic and started achieving and climbing a harder ladder. When I lost the left brain, then I still had a very healthy person inside of me. And I was fine with that. I didn't care that I fallen off the ladder. I just wondered how I would ever make a living again. So I didn't have a drastic change like that. The only reason really that I went back into science was because I had this incredible story to share. And it actually proved enlightening for not just the public, but for the medical professionals and how to treat people. I always find the stories of brain damage or tumors growth or different things like that, resulting in complete shifts in personality or behavior. But, you know, the bottom line is, our brain is made of cells. And if those cells are connected in a certain way, you're going to have a predictable outcome. And if for some reason those cells are no longer connected, there's still other cells in there that want to be heard. And one of the most important things that I gained from having this experience with trauma is that whenever I meet anybody with trauma, I don't look at them as what have they lost. I look at them as what have they gained. Because if you lose a group of cells in one part of your brain, it inhibits another part of your brain. And those bigger cells, dominant cells, go offline. Somebody else over here is going to transpire. So I find people who have gone through all kinds of brain things, fascinating people. And who were they before and who are they now? You know? And I think it's really difficult often for families to accept the new person. I think one of the most important things that has to happen is you have to let go. That Joe Taylor died that day, and let this Joe Taylor grow up to be her own self, to be someone new. And if I choose to be a lot like her, the only reason I really chose science again was people were paying me to teach it. So I had to go back and learn it, but I had an income. So for me, I didn't fall far from the truth. But my intention and my value structure has completely shifted. Because now I'm not about the lab, I'm not about the number of papers, I'm not about the salary, I'm not about the space, I'm not about the competition of science. Now I'm about how do we share what we know in order to make the world
percentage can come out of a stroke like you did? Because there are people that never recover.
I attribute that to, I believe, the ability of my brain to recover. And getting somebody to that state, for me, it was natural. Past that, I don't have an answer. So, first of all, my life has been influenced in every way. The most important thing I learned is that I am vulnerable to death. And I have a limited amount of time here alive. And it helps me focus my time and my energy. Who am I now, and what do I care about, and where am I going to put my energy? So I have chosen to not go back into the lab. I do everything else that I used to do, but I'm no longer in the lab. I teach at medical school level, but mostly now I travel the world and talk about the brain and helping people realize that they have two very different hemispheres inside of their heads. One of my greatest gifts is that I can simplify science, complicated science, so that the lay person can understand it and make it interesting so that people actually want to listen. So I have accepted that that is my calling, if you will. As far as a neuroscientist, all I can tell you is that my greatest concern, my greatest fear, was how would my people, my fellow scientists respond. But then I have to say that I am routinely invited to neurology departments, neuroscience departments, medical schools, nursing schools, speech and hearing, PT, OT, and every form of medical profession, because they know that we don't understand the brain as much as we would like to. And here you have this living example of a woman who was at Harvard, who speaks our language, who can help us understand her experience better. So, to my face, no, I have experienced no criticism. There have been a couple of things that have shown up on the internet, but it has not interfered with me sharing my message at all. And just a couple of months ago, for example, I was at the Mayo Clinic speaking to some 300 chairmen of the Department